Alright, so today we're going to be CADing this caster wheel. And you can see it has three parts, the wheel, axle, and the fork. So let's jump into a sketch and create the axle, the wheel, the fork. Alright, so let's start with the axle since it's the easiest. So let's create a sketch on this plane. Let's look at the dimensions. So we're going to do a revolve function, and then we're going to cut off this top part here. You can see, so it's 3 inches long, and then the radius looks like 0.375, or diameter. So let's go ahead, create this. The dimensions don't have to be perfect yet. We'll set 3 inches. And we're going to want to do half of what it says right now. So 0.375 over 2. Like that, and that looks about right. Now let's go ahead and create the top part. So let's create a line here to there, from that point to this point, from there up, and an arc. So none of these points are correct right now. This is just the general shape that we're going to be using. Then we can go in and put the dimensions in later. You can see here I forgot to put it in, so I'll just draw a line like this. I'm holding down D to parameterize it. I can just paste in my value like that. And now we can create this arc. I want to do a 3-point arc, 1 point, 2 points, and the third point is going to be right here. I think it automatically did it correctly. Yeah. Alright, so there it is. Alright, so now you can see we have our dimensions in. The radius of the outer part of the axle is 0.375. The radius of the long part of the axle is 0.188, which is about 0.375 over 2. This area is 0.188 from that line to that line. And then 0.156 is the distance from this point to this edge point. And this point is where the arc stops and starts. Right there. So now we have all of our dimensions in. We're going to go to Create, Revolve. Our sketch disappeared for some reason. Click on both the bodies. Axis, you want to select it to revolve around that line, because if you chose another line like this one, it's not going to work. So we're going to click this line like that. You can see we have our axle. But additionally, you can see in the drawing there's a part that's cut off right there. That is 5/16 above the center of the axle. So we can go into Fusion, create a sketch on this plane right here. Let's just draw a box like this. The height doesn't matter. Create a line and parameterize that distance to 5/16. Like this. Okay. Now you can see we're just trying to cut off the top of this screw. So we're going to go extrude that face and cut. So sometimes you use new body, intersect, but this time we're using cut because we want to cut off the top of that face using this new body. So you can see like that. Now we have our axle done. Alright, so the axle is the easiest one. Now let's go ahead and create the fork. So go into activate that component, so that all your sketches and bodies are going to be saved under that component name. And the reason we do this is so that later we can go in and like hide certain parts of the sketch and change certain parts of the sketch without changing everything in it. Alright, so now we can go, we're just going to go create a new sketch on this plane. we're going to create a box that has the dimensions, so it will be 4.5 inches by 2 inches. Just like that. And we can actually move it over a little bit so it doesn't interfere with our other parts. I'm just going to fix this point just so we know what can move and what can't. So this should not be able to move because they're both parameterized. Now let's go ahead and create circles with, here, let me check on my other sketch. You want them to have a radius of 1.125 or a diameter of 1.125. 1.125, so I just chose center diameter circle since that's the easiest for what I'm trying to do. And then I'm just pressing backspace when it gives me the parameter and I'm typing in 1.125. Just like that. I'm going to do this for every corner. And now I want to create a line, any point on here to any point on here. And you can see here, it doesn't matter where I put this because when I go like this, press shift, I can click on here and go tangent, and it'll automatically be where I want it to be. So from top point there to top point there, same thing down here. When I create a tangent point, it doesn't matter where I put it as long as it's parameterized. So I can click on that, tangent. You can see this one, exact same thing, become tangent. Okay, so you can see the tangent when this little symbol, tangent symbol appears on there. Now I want to create an arc, so I go sketch, arc, 3-point arc. I'm going to make a tangent point here, and then any random point there. So highlight those, go tangent, highlight those, tangent, just like this, and then this radius is going to be 1 inch. And you can see in the dimensions it says right there, radius is 1 inch. Just like that. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. So once again, I'm going to go arc, 3-point arc, click here, anywhere there. I just want to click on one line, click shift on the other line, so I'm selecting them both, and then go tangent. Just like that, and then you can see my point out here, which is for my arc. I can press D, double click on these, and then type in 1. Just like that, and you can see now I have my sketch working. Now I want to create a line, just like this. I want it to be in the center, so I can click on this, press shift, and I can click on midpoint. And then after that, well, okay, so it failed to do that because it's not that smart. So instead of doing that, I can click on this distance right here is 4.5 inches. So if I want to do half of that, I just do 4.5 divided by 2, and I'll get my lines at the very center. Alright, after that, you want to create a rectangle, just like this. The dimensions don't have to be correct, because you can always go back and fix them like this. So this distance is going to be 1.125 inches. And then this total distance is going to be twice that. Since I'm lazy, I can just do this multiplied times 2. I don't have to do any math in my head. This distance from that line to that line is going to be 0.005. Just like that, and then same on the other side. Just like this. And now you can do a stop sketch. I want to extrude. Actually, first, before we do that, I'm gonna go back. I want to create 4 more circles in here that have a diameter of 0.438. Just like this. I'm going to do that for every corner just like I did before. And these eventually will make up where your caster wheel can mount onto something. Okay, just like that. So I go stop sketch, extrude, just like this. Click on everything but the inside of the circle and this rectangle inside there. Like that. Now I want to extrude it by 3/8 of an inch. Just like that. Alright, so now we're going to create a second sketch right on top of here on this plane. So I'm clicking on the top of that part. I'm just going to create 2 simple lines like this. I'm from the top to the bottom at a 90 degree angle. Like that, and parameterize them to be 0.313 away from the edge. Like that. Now we can go stop sketch and extrude this one. We're going to extrude this up by 3/4 of an inch. We're gonna do join. Like that, so we can go join, yes. Just like that. Now we only have a few steps left. We're gonna create a new sketch on this plane. Just like this. Create a circle. Just like this up here. And I want to parameterize its distance. So from there to the base, it's going to be 3.25 inches. Alright, calculate it like that. Now from this to the edge, from the center point to the edge, is going to be 1.438. 1.438, just like that. Now it should be centered. The diameter of the circle is going to be 1.25. Like that. Now we can create 2 lines that should both be tangent, but I don't have to put them on there. I can just go like this. You don't have to be perfect when you draw them, because you can always go back and fix them like this. Highlighting both and clicking tangent. Like that. Now we're going to go into sketch, trim, get that part off of there, create another circle right on this point that has a radius of 0.406. Like that. Wait for time to freeze. And finally, the last step is to create a rectangle like this that is currently not centered, but I can center it in just a second by doing the exact same thing I did up here. Doing that, and I want to go 1.438 just as I did for the one above it. So now it's centered this way. Okay, we can still move it up and down, so I want to fix that. Let's see, I can stop it from moving up and down. I can make this point parameterized to there, which is 0.344. 0.344. Make that onto there, and make finally its diameter be 0.375 inches, like that. Okay. So now we have that done. We can go ahead and extrude this. So we want to extrude that by a distance of -530 seconds. like that. Join. Done. I want to do the same thing on the other side. The only problem is though our sketch is only on one side, so we can just do a mirror at the end to get all these pieces over there. We can double check to see if we did this right. And currently, I'm not in the component, so usually what you'd want it to have done is activate this component before you sketch this. But since I forgot to in the beginning, I'm gonna have to drag the bodies from here to my component and my sketches as well. So all three of these sketches should go here. Just like that. So now you can see when I hide that, it hides all the stuff that I've been doing, and when I hide the axle, it's hiding that part. Okay. So when I created this, I actually want to go into a new body, and then this way it allows me to mirror it in the future. I don't know why I hid the other one. So now I can mirror it, and in the end I can just combine them all again. So now I want to unhide my other sketch that I used to get this, right there. Extrude. I want to do a complicated extrude, so it's going to be two sides. The first side is going to be to object, and it'll be to this object. The second side is going to be distance. It's going to be $5 30 seconds. So I'm going to go in here, edit this. Whenever you move out of the tab, it automatically saves it. So 5 30 seconds. We can hide our sketch again. You can see we have all our pieces done. And now we can go ahead and mirror our piece. So modify or create. But before I do that, I want to create a mid-plane. So click on half of the one half, the opposite side, like this, and it automatically creates the mid-plane. Now I can go to create mirror. I want to mirror this body and this one on this mirror plane, just like that. Alright, so now that that's done, we can just modify fillet. We're just going to fillet some of these like it says in the document. It isn't mandatory, it's just being able to nice. Alright, since we these two, it's probably good. This takes a lot of math, so it might not be able to do this first try. Alright, I was able to do it. So is that part of the caster wheel. So you can see we've done the axle and the fork. Now all we have left is this wheel. And the wheel is probably the second easiest part. So let's go into that component, activate component like this. We can just hide the other two just for now. So I'll do it right above this line right here. And once again, we're going to use the revolve function. So I'm going to create a sketch on this plane like this. And it gives me my entire profile, which I have to do, which is nice. So we know the widest it gets is 2 inches. So I can go into here like this and just create a basic shape for it. What I can do is I can just make it out of lines. Let me double check what it looks like. So I can just do half of it and then just mirror it to save time. So I'm going to do a mirror and then a revolve. So it's going to be pretty efficient. We want to make this point and this line be 1 inch. Then, well, first we can make these actually need to be perpendicular. And we can do this by just pressing shift, perpendicular, just like that. And now it can only move like this. Let's just fix this point right here so that we can see whether we did it right. Good, so this stuff can't move. Now we need to make this up to the same distance, 1 inch. And then we can also make, we see this is 1/4 of an inch. So it actually needs to be 1 inch minus 1/2 of 1/4. So minus an 1/8. Like that. And then this point has to go down by this same distance. So I'll just copy that. And this point, though, this point is 1. Just like that. And you can see that it has to move up that way. It can't move down because everything's already parameterized like this. And it doesn't give any dimensions for these sizes. Or actually, no, it does. It does. So 1.5 inches actually. So that's 1/4. That's 3/8. So I can go here. It said this distance is 0.25, and this distance is 3/8. Like that. And actually, this should be minus. It said this distance is 1 1/2 inches. So that's 0.75 from there to there, which is going to be minus 1 more quarter. The formatting is really weird on all this. I don't know why it does this, but it does. Okay, like that. Yeah, that's normal. So then this once again should be 0.75. Like that. Actually, let's make this 1/16. And we can just copy this and just paste it in here to save time. Like that. Okay, so now we have, well, these are mostly parameterized. Those are 1/8 radius. So I can go back and do this in a second. This distance should be 1 inch from here to here. And the entire diameter of the wheel should be 4 inches. Wait. So we need 2 inches from here to here. Like that. So that should be right. Now we can go sketch, fillet. I want to fillet this corner, Once again, the math is killing my computer. So like that. Now we can go and create, so let's create a line like this and make this a construction line. So go normal construction and just click on that. Now it's a construction line. Now we can go to create our sketch mirror objects. We want to mirror all of this stuff. So this, all this stuff. I'm just going to click on the mirror line, this line right here. It's going to create exactly what we want on the other side. And you can see here, you can tell if it's correct just by whether or not it's going to fit in there, in which case it will. Alright, now let's see, because right now it's showing me that, actually first, this is 0.15 and it says radius should be 1/8, so let's fix that. Like that. So you can see since I mirrored this and then mirrored that's over there, it's going to When I change one, it will change all of them. And I'm not sure why it's not a body right now, because it should be. It could be because I need these. There we go. Okay, so now we can see. Now it's a body, so we can go stop that sketch, go back in here. Sorry, I just had the entire component hidden. Now I can go create, revolve, using this face. Again, we want to create it around this axis. So, what was I saying? Okay, so we revolve 360 degrees around there. We create a new body. Just like this, we can double check to make sure it looks good. You can see in the center there's a part that's cut out. I forgot to do that in the sketch, but it's okay because we can go back. Just like this in the sketch one. You can edit this sketch. And it looks like there's a point. And I can parameterize this line to be whatever distance that was. I think it was, okay, 0.38. But it's over 2. Now, when I go into my revolve, all I have to do is just unselect this part. And now it should be fixed. Now it should have the hole in the center, just like that. So now all we have to do is assemble it. First though, let's just color this to make it look nice. So, appearance. Usually these wheels are like a red rubber, so we can just go into, honestly, just go into plastic. This, usually like that, and then the axle can be black. This can be gray, and then now we have to just put it together. So let's do assemble. Let's do joint. And component 1. Let's make this component 1, and this. Just like that. And of course it's going to animate like this just to show that it's stuck together. Alright. And we can go, let's just move this all the way in. Just like that. Alright, now we can go final joint. It's going to be the inside of this and the outside of this. And we can just center this on here. So just like this. 0.5, like that. Alright, animate. Yeah, I'll shake around. Okay, good. Nice. Alright, so that looks good. Now we have to do, get rid of the sketches. Hide origins, because they're just ugly. Construction, get rid of the construction planes. Hide the joints, just like this. And technically it's upside down, so I can just go like this and reorient my home. So just put it where I want it to be. Set current view as home, fit to view, just like this. If you move it around, back home is where it should be. I'll end up like this. And obviously save it. Like that. And now you're done. Alright. So, like and subscribe, boys.